Well, hello friends. Today I want to focus on Jupiter as we enjoy these last few days of Jupiter in Pisces. Just now, Jupiter's at 0 degrees Pisces and is moving retrograde as it heads back into Aquarius on July 28th. So let's shine some light on Jupiter in Pisces as we also consider some ideas for inviting in this benevolent energy. Jupiter in Pisces is found in the charts of many who are visionary or inspiring, who seem to be driven by a connection to a higher power or even some magical force that propels them forward toward greatness. When harnessed to spiritual, artistic, or social ideals, these folks can produce great works and find inner contentment or confidence through that mystical connection. And once that connection's established inside themselves, they can then channel that energy out into the world like a glowing, soothing balm of compassion. That's when things are going well. When these folks are imbalanced, they can be prone to exaggeration or extravagance, expecting too much from life or taking ungrounded risks and then being let down by the result. Or so impressionable that they're pulled away from their higher purpose or calling. I love thinking of Jupiter as the story we tell of ourself, and sometimes Jupiter and Pisces folks can buy into an overblown, hyped, or almost mythologized version of their own story. And if they're famous or well-known, they might get lost in the grandiose projections of others, especially if there's a Neptune aspect involved. In some cases, these larger-than-life images of self are arising out of a real talent or experience, and they seem to be fueled by some otherworldly force, like basketball superstar Michael Jordan, for instance, who's known for pulling off the impossible on the court. Orson Welles, who had natal Jupiter in Pisces, had a seemingly endless reserve of talent and largesse that he translated onto the stage and screen. And both of these folks have left a lasting imprint in the modern collective psyche. And speaking of iconic artists whose work takes us into the landscape of dreams and emotions in a way that's inspired generations of listeners, both Billie Holiday and Marvin Gaye had natal Jupiter in Pisces. Billie Holiday used her Jupiter gifts to illuminate another side of Pisces. Through her work, we could find ourselves awash in human emotion with a window into human suffering, pain, and tenderness. Unfortunately, Holiday's own suffering found her turning to substance use as a way to navigate her own painful inner landscape. Described on biography.com as creating beautiful art from a troubled life, Marvin Gaye's work was fueled by a Jupiterian vision with an especially Piscean style and intention. And in the case of his hit What's Going On, he delivered a moving message through song that was crafted out of an attunement to human suffering. It was inspired out of an awareness of racially driven police brutality at the time. This kind of music with a message recalls Holiday's poignant and heartbreaking song Strange Fruit. Near the end of his career, Marvin Gaye once said, "I record so that I can feed people what they need, what they feel. Hopefully, I record so that I can help someone overcome a bad time." In true Jupiter and Pisces form. With Jupiter and Pisces on the shadow side, we might be prone to overindulge, whether that's in our own emotions or even in our own imagination. We can exaggerate or overstate our abilities or potentials and put all of our hopes in possibilities that would seem too far out of reach to be likely to a more grounded person. So fast forward to this moment in time. How can we honor Jupiter in Pisces with some intentions that call out its best potentials? Turning first to the shadow, this is a time to be aware of inflationary energies and impulses and those exaggerating tendencies that I just mentioned. While this is a time to expand your sense of possibility, it's also a good idea to keep one foot on the ground as you immerse yourself in those intentions. Dream big for sure, but don't get lost in the dream. Tap into a sense of your greatest potential and your most imaginative ideals of yourself and of life, but keep one eye on Saturnian reality too. Finding a balance between Jupiter and Saturn is one key to fulfillment and success. Turning back to Michael Jordan as an example, he was driven by this kind of Jupiterian optimistic exuberance we've been talking about, but he was also known as one of the hardest working athletes, tapping into some of the great potential of his natal Saturn in Aquarius placement. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, this is the perfect time to get in touch with your connection to something bigger than yourself. Whether that's a healing ideal for your community, your concept of a higher power, or your artistic vision. Connect to one of these as a source of inspiration and spend time each day tapping into or channeling these energies. It can help to spend some time alone connecting to Source in some way, whether that's through a walk in nature, near water, swimming in the ocean, or sitting in meditation, or even listening to some inspiring music. Keeping this divine connection alive inside yourself can help you express some of Jupiter and Pisces' greatest gifts, whether that's a generosity of spirit, a benevolence that finds you boosting the spirit spirits of others who are suffering, or moving through the world with a kind-heartedness that's infectious. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's astro message, and I'd love it if you'd take a moment to hit the like button before you go. We're in our once-a-year open registration right now for our 4-year astrology training program, where you can join a community of like-minded folks immersed in the study of astrology. I'm feeling especially inspired right now because we just wrapped up 2 in-person weekend workshops with students from year 1 and year 2, where they gave presentations based on what they've learned in the program. And I was moved by the quality of the presentations, but also the rich, heart-centered community that we've built together. If you've been looking for a bit of structure to help deepen your studies, our program might be just the one you're looking for. Head over to astrologyuniversity.com/program to learn more. And until next time, take good care.